Hello guys, this is Maybe Rambling. We'll talk about Amazon again. Yay! Amazon accused of unfair pricing policies by Washington D.C. Amazon is being sued by Washington D.C. over allegations it abuses its position as a retail giant. The lawsuit filed on Tuesday claims that Amazon's control up to 70% of the U.S. online sales results in higher prices for consumers. Well, of course, there's laws against monopolies, man. Come on. Amazon's online retail sales platform benefits from and is protected by Amazon's anti-competitive business practices, it said. Amazon said the lawsuit is exactly backwards. Filed by Carl Racine, Attorney General for the District of Columbia. The lawsuit accuses Amazon of charging third-party sellers on its site fees up to 40% of a product's price, as well as stopping them from charging less on other platforms. It says far from enabling consumers to obtain the best products at the lowest prices, Amazon instead causes prices across the entire online retail sales market to be artificially inflated, both for products sold on Amazon's online retail sales platform and on its competitors' online retail sales platform. An Amazon spokesperson said in response, the DC Attorney General is exactly backwards. Sellers set their own prices for the products they offer in our store. Amazon takes pride in the fact they offer low prices across a broad selection. Like any store, we reserve the right to not highlight offers to customers that are not priced competitively. The lawsuits seek to stop Amazon from using anti-competitive practices and calls for damages and some remedies, but only apply to violations of the rules in the District of Columbia itself. Amazon added that the relief sought was forced to feature higher prices to customers, oddly going against core objectives of the antitrust law. In 2019, Amazon scrapped a requirement for merchants to sign a price parity agreement that stopped them from selling at lower prices under pressure from senior U.S. politicians. But Mr. Racine has said it's introduced an effectively identical substitute. The retail giant has already been charged with abusing competition rules by the European Commission in November. It found that Amazon had used data on third-party sellers that use its marketplace to boost sales of its own labeled goods. Amazon insisted that, far from being anti-competitive, its private label products were good for customers and offered more choice. No company cares more about small businesses or has done more to support them over the past 2 decades than Amazon said at the time. The latest legal challenge comes as tech firms face increased scrutiny, having seen sales of memberships jump during the pandemic. Facebook and Google, for example, has been slammed as being too powerful in the markets by regulators in the US and in the UK. Meanwhile, Amazon has seen sales soar as consumers were forced to stay at home due to coronavirus-related lockdowns. In the first 3 months of the year, it reported a profit of $8.1 billion, 3 times the amount in the same period a year later. Now, time for the next story. Alright guys, now we have AI emotion detection software tested on Oculus. A camera system that uses AI and facial recognition intends to reveal states of emotion that has been tested on Oculus and Zhang, the BBC has been told. A software engineer claimed to have installed such systems in police stations in the province. A human rights advocate has shown evidence described it as shocking. The Chinese embassy in London has not responded directly to claims, but says political and social rights in all ethnic groups are guaranteed. Xinjiang is home to 12 million ethnic minority Uyghurs, whatever, most of whom are Muslim. Citizens in the province are under deadly surveillance. The area is also home to highly controversial re-education centers called high-security detention camps by human rights groups, where it estimates that more than 1 million people have been held. Beijing has always argued that surveillance is necessary in the region because it says separatists who accept their own state have killed hundreds of people in terror attacks. The software engineer agreed to talk to BBC Paranormal program on the condition of anonymity because he fears for his safety. The company he worked for is also not being revealed. Being showed panorama file photographs of Uyghur detainees who he claimed had the emotional recognition system tested on them. The Chinese government used Uyghurs as test subjects for various experiments, just like rats are used in laboratories, he said. He outlined his role and installed cameras in the police stations in the province. He placed the emotion detection camera 3 meters from the subject. It's similar to a lie detector but far more advanced technology. He said officers use restraint chairs, which are widely installed in police stations across China. Your wrists are locked in place with metal restraints, and the same applies to your ankles. He provided evidence of how the AI system is trained to detect and analyze every minute change in the facial expressions and skin pores. According to his claims, the software creates a pie chart with the red segment representing a negative or anxious state of mind. He claimed the software is intended for a prejudgment without any credible evidence. The Chinese embassy in London did not respond to questions about the use of emotion recognition software in province, but said the political, economic, and social rights and freedoms of religious belief in all ethnic groups in Xinjiang are fully guaranteed. People live in harmony regardless of ethnic backgrounds and enjoy a stable and peaceful life with no restriction to personal freedom. Yep, sounds like a politician. The evidence was shown to Sophie Richardson, China director of Human Rights Watch. It is shocking material. It's not just that people are being reduced to a pie chart. It's people who are in highly coercive circumstances, under enormous pressure, being unstable and nervous, and that's taken as an indication of guilt, and I think that's deeply problematic. According to Darren Byler from the University of Colorado, Uyghurs routinely have to provide DNA samples to local officials, undergo digital scans, and most have to download a government phone app which gathers data including contact lists and text messages. Uyghur life is not about generating data, he said. Everyone knows that the smartphone is something you have to carry with you, and if you don't carry it, you can be detained. They know that you are being tracked by it, and they feel like there's no escape, he said. Most of the data is fed into a computer system called the Integrated Joint Operations Platform, which Human Rights Watch claims flags up supposedly suspicious behavior. The system is gathering information about dozens of different kinds of perfectly legal behaviors, including things like whether people were going out the back door instead of the front door, whether they're putting gas in the car that didn't belong to them, said Ms. Richardson. Authorities now place QR codes outside the doors of people's homes so they can easily know who's supposed to be there and who's not. Oh, William, this has long been debate on how closely tied Chinese technology firms are to the state. US-based research group IPVM claims to have uncovered evidence and patents filed by such companies that suggest facial recognition products are specifically designed to identify Uyghur people. A patent filed in July 2018 by Huawei and the China Academy of Sciences describes a face recognition product that is capable of identifying people on the basis of their ethnicity. Hua said in response that it did not condone using technology to discriminate or oppress members of any community, that it was independent of government wherever it operated. The group has also found a document which appears to suggest the firm was developing technology for a so-called one-person, one-file system. For each person, the government will store the personal information, their political activities, relationships, anything that may give you insight into how that person would behave and what kind of threat they may pose, said IPVM's Connor Healy. It makes any kind of dissonance potentially impossible and creates true predictability for the government and the behavior of their citizens. I don't think that George Orwell would ever imagine a government could be capable of this kind of analysis. Hua did not specifically address questions about his involvement in developing technology for the one-person, one-file system, but repeated that it was independent of government whenever it operated. The Chinese embassy in London said it had no knowledge of these programs. IPVM also claimed to have found marketing material from Chinese firm Hikvision and advertised an Uyghur detecting AI camera and a patent for software developed by Dahua, another tech giant, which could also identify Uyghurs. Dahua says its patent referred to all 56 recognized ethnicities in China and did not deliberately target any one of them. They added that provided products and services that aim to help keep people safe and comply with the laws and regulations of every market in which it operates, including the UK. Hikvision said the details on his website were incorrect and uploaded online without appropriate review, and did not sell or have in its product range a minority recognition function or analytics technology. Dr. Lan Zhu, a chairman of China's National Committee on AI Governance, said he was not aware of the patents. Outside China, there are lots of saw these changes. Many are not accurate or not true, he told the BBC. I think that Xinjiang local government has responsibility to really protect the Xinjiang people. If technology is used in its context, that's quite understandable, he said. The UK's Chinese embassy has more robust defense, telling the BBC. There is no so-called facial recognition technology featuring accurate analytics whatsoever. China is estimated to be home of half the world's almost 800 million surveillance cameras. It also has a large number of smart cities, such as Chongqing, where AI is built in the foundation of the urban environment. I have no mouth, yet I can't. I have no mouth, yet I must scream. Chongqing-based investigative journalist Hugh Liu told Panorama of his own experience. Once you leave home and step into the lift, you are captured by a camera. There are cameras everywhere. When I leave home to go somewhere, I call a taxi. The taxi companies upload the data to the government. I may then go to coffee to meet a few friends, and the authorities know my location to a camera in the cafe. There have been occasions where I have met some friends soon after someone from the government contacts me to warn me, don't see that person, don't do this, and what, and that. If artificial intelligence, we had nowhere to hide, he said. And that's what's going on in China. Oh boy. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace out.